The WNBA believed they could simply fine Sophie Cunningham and be done with it. This is where it becomes even more bizarre, though. The memo was not received by them. Cunningham made a multi-million-dollar win out of a $400 penalty. Yes, you heard correctly. The WNBA was just humiliated by Cunningham. She is now bringing to light the unfairness they have been pleading with them to overlook. How did she manage to do that? During a heated match against the Connecticut Sun, Cunningham took matters into her own hands in a league where referees have reportedly ignored Clark's persistent targeting. Fans went insane as a result of her actions, which caused a huge blowout. Overnight, Cunningham became an Indiana Fever legend, and you won't believe how it turns out. This is the tale of how, as the WNBA struggles with its own shortcomings, a single hard foul altered the game, revealed the league's officiating shortcomings, and made Cunningham a household name. Being a player is not all that Caitlin Clark is. Comparable to LeBron James and Stephen Curry, but perhaps with even more sway, she is the WNBA's lifeblood. This is the point at when everything shifts. Clark was responsible for an incredible 17% of all egregious foul calls in the WNBA during her inaugural season in 2025. An absurd figure that shows how frequently she was singled out. Isn't that absurd? Despite playing in just 40 games, Clark was the target of 12 of the 70 egregious fouls committed by the league, according to data gathered from WNBA game records. The physicality hasn't decreased this season. The scene was established by events such as Denai Carrington's eye poke in 2025 and Kennedy Carter's body check. Additionally, Clark still receives harsh fouls, shvees, and uncalled contact in 2025, which has fans and pundits fuming. However, what follows is quite crazy. One especially cruel incident occurred during the 2025 playoffs when Carrington's eye poked, momentarily sidelining Clark and causing the Fever to lose to the Connecticut Sun in the first round. Clark missed a run of games in June 2025 of the season because of a minor injury that was allegedly connected to the cumulative physical toll and its effects. They were vicious. According to Outkick, the WNBA had a 55% decline in viewership during her absence, going from an average of 9.9 million for Clark's games to less than 4.5 million. Following suit were ticket sales, with Sportico estimating a 30% decline in attendance for non-Clark games at venues like Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Here's why you should care about this. Not only did Clark's absence exacerbate the Fever, it revealed how dependent the WNBA was on her celebrity. Clark is the only thing propelling the W's recent surge in popularity, in contrast to LeBron or Curry, who shared the NBA limelight with other legendary players. This is what they aren't telling you, though. It is a journalistic lie to claim that the WNBA's 2025 rookie class or skill pool as a whole is driving its expansion. The information is unambiguous. Clark's Fever, her ESPN team, appeared in 18 of the 21 WNBA games that drew more than 1 million views in 2025. Although her matches against competitors like A.A. Wilson and Angel Ree attracted sizable crowds, interest declined in the absence of Clark. She is significantly responsible for the WNBA's $200 million yearly media deal and its 170% increase in viewership in 2024. And that's only the tip of the iceberg. Since no other sport has a single player with such a disproportionate amount of power, opponents view Clark as the W's golden goose. Things start to get risky at this point. In a parade in February 2025, Sophie Cunningham, a 28-year-old guard, joined the Fever from the Phoenix Mercury. Cunningham, who is known for her tough play and goes by the nickname Spicy Sophie, has become Clark's on-court protector. This status was cemented during a furious game against the Connecticut Sun on June 17, 2025. And this is the point at which everything goes totally wrong. A long-standing opponent from Clark's Big Ten days, JCS Sheldon of Connecticut, poked Clark in the eye and started a shoving match with the Fever ahead 88-71 in the last minute. Clark was then pushed to the ground by Sunuard Marina Mabra, who escalated the situation. Referees gave Tina Charles and Clark Mabur technical fouls, while Sheldon received a flagrant one, which was hardly enough to dissuade him. This is the part, though, that nobody anticipated. Cunningham took matters into her own hands after becoming enraged by the officials' inactivity. She put her arms around the Sunyard and pulled her to the ground after delivering a forceful foul on Sheldon with 46 seconds remaining. A bench-clearing altercation between Cunningham, Sheldon, and Suns' Lindsay Allen was sparked by the play. In response, the WNBA fined Cunningham $400 for her egregious 2 fouls and an extra, unannounced sum for her involvement in the altercation, according to her ESPN. Even if we are aware that it costs $400, what if I told you that's not the worst part? It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting the star player of the WNBA, Cunningham told reporters without expressing regret. Consequently, my ultimate goal will be to safeguard my comrades. Stephanie White, her coach, concurred, criticizing officials for losing composure. It seemed obvious that this would occur. The most absurd aspect is that it is entirely true. Fans who were tired of Clark's treatment responded favorably to Cunningham's actions. Posts about X went viral on social media, referring to her as a heroine and the enforcer for confronting the WNBA's officiating shortcomings. Sophie Cunningham's warning to the WNBA not to meddle with Caitlin Clark made her a legend. The game is on. Her strong foul wasn't merely a retaliatory act. It was a declaration. Clark will be protected by Cunningham if the referees don't. Additionally, you should focus on this section. Her enforcer character is given legitimacy by her black belt in Taekwondo, which she obtained at the age of 6. She is a powerful presence on the court. Sophie is a dog, my god.
Oh my god, Sophie's a dog. She just is, she's a competitor. She's versatile, so she allows us to do different things. Like, she plays with such a toughness. She's huge, and she's going to be for us all season long.
It gets extremely intriguing at this point. Criticism has been directed toward the WNBA's officiating, especially with reference to Clark. Despite playing fewer minutes than veterans like Aya Wilson or Breanna Stewart, Clark received more flagrant fouls, 12, than any other player in 2024. Clark has been subjected to uncalled contact in almost every game this season, continuing the pattern. According to a Washington Post analysis, referees frequently fail to call fouls on aggressive plays, making the WNBA a violent and physical place. Respected commentator and Las Vegas Aces coach Becky Hammon supported Cunningham's move by stating, "People are sick of getting hit, and there's too much grabbing, bumping, and fouling that goes uncalled."
This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete. And they're going to have their team.
However, the majority of individuals totally overlook this. The WNBA is reluctant to defend Clark for reasons other than officiating. The league's culture is linked to this fundamental problem. Penalties are inconsistent despite the fact that veterans like John Phil Jones and Alyssa Thomas have been cited for severe fouls on Clark. For instance, Chennedy Carter's 2025 body check was only reviewed and escalated to a flagrant penalty without a suspension. The idea that Clark, a rookie sensation, is being harassed by veterans and is not receiving any protection from officials has been strengthened by the league's silence. And wait if you think that's horrible. Sun coach Reish Mazain referred to Cunningham's foul as impolite and foolish. However, supporters and commentators contend that the WNBA's inability to protect its most valuable asset is the true disrespect.
Prices continue their decline without the assistance of the roof from Waterloo. First off, credit where credit is.
This is the most crucial section, though. There is no comparison to Clark's influence on the WNBA. According to ESPN, her games drew an average of 9.9 million viewers in 2024, a 170% increase over the league's total of 5.8 to 8 million. The Fever's home games sold out 90% of the time, and her presence increased league-wide ticket sales by 30%. According to Sportico, the W's ratings plummeted by 55% and ticket sales for non-Fever games fell precipitously when Clark skipped games in June 2025. And that's when things start to become crazy. This striking contrast demonstrates that Clark is the main attraction rather than the rookie class or seasoned players like Wilson. This is further supported by posts on X, where one person writes, Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA would be nothing. When she was absent, the ratings fell. For the NBA, she is bigger than LeBron ever was. And you'll see why this is so crucial by the end of this. The impact of Clark goes beyond statistics. Her $11 million in endorsements and $28 million Nike contract dwarf her WNBA salary of $76,535, underscoring the pay gap in the league. The WNBA's financial vulnerability is highlighted by its $40 million deficit in 2025, even during its most lucrative season. Clark is essential because of her capacity to increase media agreements and fill arenas. However, she and her supporters could become estranged due to the league's officiating shortcomings. Stay put because there's a big twist coming up. This is when it becomes even more improbable Cunningham's sudden fame came with a tiny price, a $400 fine. Her Instagram following increased by 350,000, bringing her total to 730,000 followers, while her TikTok following grew from 400,000 to 1.2 million in the 48 hours after the Sundame. Fans said that restocks will not be available until July 8, 2025, after her number 8 fever jersey ran out in a matter of days. According to marketing firm STN Digital, it would cost a business more than $1 million to acquire 1 million followers on various platforms. Additionally, Cunningham's sponsored posts, which were previously valued at $10,000 each, may now bring in $20,000. The best part is that we have only just begun that Cunningham's ascent is comparable to Kate Martin's, who outsold Aya Wilson in 2025 in terms of jersey sales. Clark's colleagues gain from her halo effect despite her inexperience and low stats, but Cunningham's enforcer position has increased her allure. One post on X garnered 141,000 likes and 1.2 million views, earning her the moniker National Treasure from fans. Her partnerships with Adidas and Quest Nutrition are expected to grow, and she may soon sign deals that will increase her off-court income to the millions. But hold on, what matters most is this next section. Despite the WNBA's $40 million 2025 loss, Cunningham is taking use of Clark's popularity in a manner the league hasn't been able to, as seen by her social media success and jersey sales. You should see this through to the very finish. I promise you that Sophie Cunningham's $400 fine was a minor price to pay for bringing attention to the WNBA's officiating shortcomings and solidifying her place as a fan favorite. She has become the enforcer the league didn't realize it needed by defending Caitlin Clark, transforming a contentious situation into a multi-million-dollar opportunity. Clark is by far the most valuable asset in the WNBA, outperforming LeBron or Curry in the NBA due to her unparalleled influence, which generates 55% of viewership and 30% of ticket sales. And the reality is that this is really crazy. Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark are the ones changing the rules, despite the league's best efforts to locate her. Now who's laughing? The referee's soft wrist-wringing attitude to a hard foul on Caitlin Clark set a new low. The officials had lost control of the game by the time Sophie Cunningham took matters into her own hands, but they concluded it had gone too far. How do you feel about the WNBA referees? Will players simply eat up the fines to get revenge? Or will they ever change? Please share your thoughts in the space provided for comments below. For additional updates, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Keep an eye out.